In today's video, we'll talk about what to do when your friends and family think you've completely lost your mind when you're on the path to finding and growing your big idea. Lori Osterberg here with visionofsuccess.tv. Fear. It's something we all have, and especially when you're about to make a huge change in your life, right? You come up with this great idea and it's kind of living deep inside of you, and you really start feeling the fear when it comes time to trying to move it forward, to trying to pull it out and actually put it into action. I understand fear is one of the biggest motivators that we all have to work through when we want to accomplish change, when we want to move forward. Especially when you have something that's a little out there and a little different than anyone in your family or friend radius has ever seen before. Especially if they're all in job mentality and all of a sudden you have a great big idea and you want to move it forward and create your own business. All of a sudden you have all this resistance setting in. Not only are you dealing with a lot of questions internally like, what if I do this and I fail? Or what if I do this and nobody accepts it? But then you also have a lot of questions coming in that are interrelated to your family and friends. Why would they want to support me through this? And not only that, but they start questioning yourselves. Why would you do something that puts you and your family at so much risk? It's so much safer to be in the job, especially if you have that job mentality all around you. Now, I know that. I grew up in a family that was very traditional. My dad worked 9 to 5 and my mother stayed home. So we're talking total traditional here, right? Andrew had the same thing. He grew up in a complete job mentality. Both mom and dad worked outside the home in corporate, in job mentality, worked the 9 to 5 and came home and left the job at the office. That's not what you can do though when you bring it to an entrepreneur level. All my sisters and brothers, all my family, up until that point when we decided to make the break, were all in the job mentality. And all of a sudden you want to break free, you want to break that mold, and you want to set a new path. You want to go down a completely different avenue than anyone has ever heard before. Now that's fear, not only from an internal part, but also from an external. Everybody around you is questioning you. And not only that, but they don't want you to go down this new path. What if you change? What if you become a different person and you're no longer accepted in the clan, in the crowd? It's kind of like the crab mentality. If you've ever heard that, if you put a bunch of crabs in a box, they will do everything they can to pull the other one back down, even if one is trying to escape, because they all want the same doom. They all want to be together. In their mentality, they want to face whatever is happening to them together as one group. And a lot of times that's what happens to our family and friends as well. They don't want to see someone that they love and that they care about spark down a brand new path and be a trailblazer, kind of set wildfires around them and just kind of move in a totally different direction, something that they're not used to, that they've never heard before and that they've never experienced before. What if it changes you, and what if you become someone different? Now a lot of that is what you are going to have to work through. And I'm here to tell you that that is definitely a thing that's going to happen. Change will happen. But you can do a couple things to make sure that you get through the process in a lot stronger fashion. First of all, you need to accept that it is going to happen, that you are going to change as a person. But that doesn't mean you have to leave the old family and friends behind. It just means your roles are going to change. You have to accept the fact that they're going to think different, they're going to treat different. And in some cases, you simply just don't talk about that part of your life anymore. You don't go into, a lot of detail. Maybe you just stay very neutral when it comes to that when you're with your family and friends. Done that for years because they were always so afraid of who we were becoming and what we were doing that it was difficult to talk about it, difficult to talk about exactly what we were going through. In which case, we also turned around and we found another friend base, a friend base that did understand it, a friend base that was all built around entrepreneurship, that they understood exactly what we were going through because they were going through it too. So if you look at this as an opportunity of actually stretching out, meeting new people, meeting people with like interests that understand what you're going through, that understand all this fear base, and that understand that life is about change, that you can move forward and you can hang on to the old, but it may mean changing and adjusting and growing into the new base too. All of it's okay, all of it's fun, and a lot of it is going to help you grow into the person you truly need to be. Hope you enjoyed this version. Stay tuned to next week. Thanks, bye-bye.